What's up, guys? Brendan from Market Makers. The Crypto Buddha returns. I was meditating on Mount Zen. I am back. I am balanced. I am here to give you the Bitcoin update. Is Bitcoin pumping or dumping? Just like last video, we're going to get into the Bitcoin action. Hey, guys, in our Discord group, we're doing a free week. Anybody can join right now. You're in there for free for a week. That started today. You can see the full benefits of being there, meet the members there, see the community, see the TA in Forex, the TA in precious metals we're going to be posting today, and the TA and, of course, crypto. Okay? So, growing community, guys, over 230 people now. So, come check it out. It's free for a week. You get full access to everything, including our Discord exclusive updates. So, if you want, the link is in the video description. Come check us out if you've been thinking about it. Come try it out. See if it's worth it to you. All right. So what happened? Well, exactly what I said would happen, right? I told you we're between the 200 and 233. We had a mega pump. There's just so much resistance above us, guys. We're on the 4-hour time frame. The 233 once again held the price, right? So you look at this. You have your whale needle to get up here. You have the 233. We're going to do a couple different volume indicators to study the volume here to see what we're actually dealing with support-wise. You're well above the volume channel, okay? We're going to go into the VPVR as well, our old volume indicator, so you can see that. But again, your recent case study with this is going to be the exact same situation we had with a whale pump between a 200 and 233. We formed the head and shoulders and we rolled, right? It looked like we're going to get above it just like now, and we ended up rolling down from there because we were above volume. And why does price roll? We've been over this before, but price rolls because of lack of volume. So you have a pump, you have that FOMO pump, right? Or institutional level pump, but then you can't maintain it, right? You can't get the growth that you need. Like you don't have this movement anymore because you reach a peak and then you start rolling over. Then you get a pump and then you roll over and then you make a shape and you fall, right? I said that last video. It's exactly what's playing out right now still. And you will see all this information as well in our Discord group, guys. So you have your pump, and you have price petering out. You have the 233 controlling it. Like I said in the last video, I still think you're going to, so you just had your test, right? If you look on the let's look at the 1-hour time frame so we can see if we're making any shapes. 1-hour time frame is a good judge for shapes because it's powerful enough to actually make a difference. 15 and 30 minute, not that good for shapes, okay? So, well, you're forming a double top right now. So what happened was you had your pump, just like we said, you could form a double top or head and shoulders, right? There's your first top. Price got rejected by the 233. Keep in mind, this is 1 hour, so they're both down here. On the 4 hour is the king. That's where we're tracking it. Someone asked in the comments last video, why are we using the 4 hour? Because go watch my market top video. I go over it explicitly. It's a whole video dedicated to those two moving averages that explains exactly why we're using the 4 hour. So there's your answer for that, so we don't have to rehash it for everybody else. But go check out that video. So you fell here, you were rejected. So what will most likely happen, you could just keep falling. You're resting on the top of volume here, but what most likely happens is you'll come back up, right? Probably underneath the 34.3 and then get rejected again with some downward pressure. And then you just made a double top, right? And then from your double top, you'll have a neckline. When you crack the neckline, you'll dump. Okay, so this is most likely the scenario that's playing out. Because it is the weekend, you always have to consider the fact that institutions and whales can pump it, right? And why do people say, I understand if you're new to crypto and you're saying, man, it's like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Everything's a whale pump. Everything. I get that. Trust me, because I'm new to crypto. Like I said, it came the last week of April to crypto from traditional financial markets, Forex, and stocks, right? So I get it. I thought so too. But if you do the research, and it's readily available, half of all Bitcoin is owned by institutions and whales, meaning large individual investors or institutions. When you control half the marketplace, because the marketplace essentially follows Bitcoin, you can see it in all your alts, right? The alts will pump up. The alts will fall down based on Bitcoin, right? It doesn't matter what you're looking at. Like Matic, it'll pump up and fall down based on Bitcoin. They all mimic Bitcoin to an extent. Yes, some are more resilient than others, but that's most likely what's going to happen. But because we are low volume, because it is the weekend, because they can pump it if they want to, they did just pump it, but they could try to come back up again and pump it again. But it looks like on the 1 hour, you're going to end up making a double top unless it just falls down, right? So that's two different options there. Again, That's the 1 hour chart looking back on the 4 hours so we can check the moving averages and see exactly where everything's at. The 233 is controlling the price. Again, this is not a surprise. I know it was scary for everybody to see the pump, the big whale needle, and then you have your dojis, and then you had another pump, right? But the 233 is doing its job, guys. This is as predicted. Nailed this prediction. You're between the two moving averages. I told you there's a ton of resistance above you. Let's look at another volume indicator. Let's get rid of, I don't want to have too many on here. Let's get rid of that. Let's look at the visible range. Right? So here's another way to view this. Let's pull in some price history. The candles are activated by price history, okay? Let's go back to July 3rd. This is a quick reference point. The more price history you pull in, the bigger these candles get, and it gets messy. But we can do that. You can do it on your own as well. That's the VPVR. So look where price is, right? So you have, why did they have to use a pump to get it above here? Well, it's very simple, guys. Look at the volume level. You can't support the price. See, when you fall from that double top, you're going to reclaim this whole candle, like I said last video, right? Very similar to how you're going to reclaim the Bart Simpson pattern down here, right? When you pump, that means there's very little support. Look at the volume. This is why you had the pump. I mean, this is going back, let's pull in more price history. Now you're back to June 18th. Look how low that volume is. So the volume is a double-edged sword. You got to understand crypto, to understand financial markets, you guys need to understand volume. This is a study in volume. It's a double-edged sword. Because there's no volume, you can easily pump it, right? So you can see, look at the volume. There's no price support here. But there's only one candle here. It's because of this cluster of candles, right? This one sticks out. But you got this Bart Simpson pattern because of these candles. There is no volume here, or there's no volume here at all, so you can easily pump it. It's not that expensive at that point. Where it's more expensive is up here. Look at the volume. Your point of control, I call it point of confluence. This is where your peak volume is. This also acts as resistance because it's peak volume. But if it's buying, you go up from it. If it's selling, you stay under it. But you can see the climb here was easily done with the whale needles because there's nobody buying here. This isn't a buy zone range for people because you don't have a lot of price history there. When you pull in more price history, I mean, look at this. We're at this juncture. We're back to May 29th. You probably have to pull in the bull run here to actually get some price history so you can see the candles pop out. And now it's just getting, messy. But you can see going back to May 19th, you're going to have to pull in the bull run history to get volume history down here, okay? That's how far back you have to go. So there's no volume there, is the bottom line. Let's scroll up to current price. Let's get rid of these, let's get these candles shrunk down a little bit so we can actually see. All right, let me erase some of this, guys. I like to draw on my charts, as you guys know. The Buddha is all about his Zen moments. I need my rock garden. I'm going to go play in that later. All right, so we have no volume down here. We got our pumps. We got past the point of control. It's not a coincidence, by the way, you're consolidating on the point of confluence, which is peak volume area. That's where you consolidate it as support, right? And we go up from here. We get our pump, right? But then look what happens. This is why this is so predictable if you understand volume, right? These two moving averages are not in heavy volume areas. That's what makes them so difficult to defeat. That and the fact we're in a bear cycle. But look at your volume step off there. Look at your volume. Guys, this is why this was your top right now. This is why I said to have a market reversal, you need to be above 35.2 and use these two moving averages as support because there's no volume at this level. You're not getting to 100K Bitcoin with this kind of volume, right? It's just not, it's not in the cards. Even as you keep pulling in this price history, look at this. I mean, June 17th. So you're at a month price history. Look at the volume step off. That's why you need whale pumps to move up to try to tackle these moving averages. You can't do it otherwise because there's no organic buying. There's no retail buying at these levels. The fear index yesterday was 21. I think last week at this time it was 12 or 15. So it's higher, right? That means nobody's buying. People are afraid and some people aren't selling. So you're just going to sit here in consolidation again. It's going to try again. This is a 4-hour time frame, right? So the 1 hour is starting to make that double top. The 4-hour time frame, you're going to probably try again this resistance at 233, and at some point this will be your catalyst to dump you. And like I said, because you got up here, you're kind of cutting that Bart Simpson pattern right now. Because you got up here in a whale needle, you're going to reclaim all of that needle when you fall. You're going to reclaim that and you're going to dump from there, and that's going to be your catalyst to go back into the high 20s, right? This is going to be your hang up right here, the point of confluence, because that's peak volume in the range. So if you can get through that, get through this 31.6, you're dumping, and you're going to end up back down here or below it, right? So, and then we'll continue our pattern unless the whales interject again to be legging down and making shapes and falling apart. That's the Bitcoin update. That's the price as we see it. I gave you the bullish scenario last video. Again, you'd have to get above the 32. I'm sorry, above 34.3. 35.2. You got to get above 35.2. Use the 233 and a 200 as support. Not make a shape so you don't fall. But it looks like Bitcoin, again, when you look at the 1 hour, it's a good judge for the shape. You're starting to make a double top, okay, like I said. So just watch for this pattern. Watch for, if you're in our Discord, you're going to know when to short this, by the way. But if you're not, then you should join. But watch for this pattern, because this will be your second hump when it comes back up, gets rejected again by the 233 and by the 34, and then you have your neckline, and then you have your dump. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And again, always susceptible to whale pump, guys. It's low volume, so keep an eye out for that. But this is your study in volume for Bitcoin. Keep an eye out. I will post more updates if anything major happens. And guys, thanks for liking the video. Please do like the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't. And thank you, everybody, for your support. Talk soon, guys. Have a great weekend.